everybody. Welcome to another episode of We Watched a Movie. It's Finn.
I'm Brandon.
And we just got through watching Solo, a Star Wars story. So, Brandon, why don't you open it up, man?
I think we'll start right there. This is a Star Wars story. Clearly, they're going to keep making anything and everything that they can and think they can turn a profit on in terms of Star Wars. And this was their next outing. I'm bittersweet about this movie. I think it was foolish, but turned out better than I was expecting it to. I think Han Solo is already about as cool as a movie character gets. Like, if you're talking about cool dudes, he's in, like, at least the top 2 or 3. So the idea that you're going to make a movie about a really cool guy with a brand new person playing him, and then flesh out the stuff that made him cool, it seems like unless the movie is already good enough that's going to make that person in the top 3 coolest people of all time, which most movies cannot accomplish, you're inherently going to downgrade your character a level. So I came into this very, very apprehensively. I assumed it had to be a failure. And at the end of it, I was happy to say it did not decrease my opinion of Han Solo that much. I thought it basically met a net neutral. I think Han Solo is about as cool when I went in as I went out, which is good as I can hope for, which is what I'll say about this movie. I thought it was as good as I could have hoped for. Mm-hmm. Could have been so much worse. So that's kind of...
Okay. I'm... Okay, so, like, for fair disclosure, like, you know, as far as Disney products goes and how that all breaks down, you're way more of a Marvel guy. You're pretty much in for Marvel, damn near no matter what they do, really. You know,
yeah,
I mean, I think that's a fair statement.
They'd have to go real far off the rails.
Really far off the rails to lose you. Okay,
right.
I'm the same way with Star Wars currently. Like,
right.
There's nothing with the Star Wars brand slapped on it that I'm not going to watch right now. Like, they could film somebody taking a crap for like 10 seconds and slap a Star Wars label on it, and I'm like, dude, I got to watch this video, you know? Like, so I'm totally on board. Like, you know, exactly. Jar Jar takes a crap, you know, I'm in, you know? So I mean, I'm on board, you know, and I was on board the minute that they announced this. I was like, okay, sure, yeah, let's do that, you know. Let's see Han Solo as like basically Malcolm Reynolds, you know.
Right.
And in a way, this movie does take quite a bit from Firefly. I can't deny that. It has a lot of Firefly kind of feel about it, especially the early bits with Woody Harrelson's first gang, like, and all those characters. Like, they feel straight out of a Firefly episode.
I agree. I agree in the sense that
except for the monkey.
Firefly is like classic train robbery, kind of cowboy, prairie storyline, and that's what this is. It's
the better parts of this. That's exactly what it is. It's
a cowboy movie in space, and like I think that's almost kind of what the original Star Wars had going for it. Had that gritty, deserty feel, almost like a spaghetti western or something. Well, and like this kind of goes back to that, where it's
and on that thinking and on that note of just like kind of the environments and the mise-en scene, if you will, like, they certainly hit on just about every single like landscape that you might see in a western. I mean, you have these mountainous regions with lots of snow, you know, which really evokes
dangerous canyons. And stuff.
Dangerous canyons kind of evokes Ride the High Country or Open Range, you know, and then you have like the deserty areas on the planets that they go to that have desert, you know, and it obviously evokes most Western imagery that you've ever seen.
Even like out by the coast and stuff. Like whereas in The Last Jedi, where Luke was, it's like very like almost like Scottish, like Northern European. This felt almost like the coast, like the Gulf Coast, maybe in Mexico.
Exactly.
You know,
the
like
Gulf Coast of Mexico or the Pacific Coast of Mexico.
For all we know, that could be where it was.
Yeah, no doubt, where they actually filmed.
But in that way, I like that this story was about robbers and thieves, because we have Han Solo. And if you're going to do a Han Solo movie, should be him being a thief.
It should be filled with robbers and thieves. That
totally.
Film should be filled with people that you do not try. Like, every other moment I found myself quoting Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like, pirate, you know, why did you trust this person? You shouldn't. It's a den of thieves and criminals, dude. Like, every single person that you're going to come across. Woody Harrelson says the most perfect line in that. He's like, don't ever trust anybody. Expect everybody to betray you, and then you will never be disappointed, kid.
Right,
And that is such the perfect advice, which sets the stage for how Han is when we first meet him in the original films, in the original trilogy.
Right, and I think we should stop here and mention Woody Harrelson because he's really an important backbone to this movie.
Yeah. And Han is a character.
Well, right, but Han is the character now. Also. I know. Yeah, because that's part of it. Is like now there's like a reality to his past, whereas it's always been amorphous in people's heads.
Yeah, and
so it was always
whatever you wanted. It to be.
So it was as cool as you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So I thought one of the things they did really smartly in this is they made the surrounding cast very interesting and full of a lot of likable, very unique characters with real character in them. Woody Harrelson does a great job of being kind of the head of the robber gang that he gets sucked up into.
Which some of them I totally would not mind seeing pop up later in other stuff. Like, I mean, they were great characters.
Yeah, no, and there's like a 4-armed pilot that they have.
Yeah, the
that's
monkey
like
alien pilot guy.
That
he's
like
great.
He was great. He's like a great CGI character. They've been doing pretty well with the CGI characters.
No doubt.
He wasn't overused. He has a great personality.
Good.
He was really funny.
Yeah.
He wasn't just like there. He really moved the story along. Woody Harrelson's girlfriend, who starts off and spoilers doesn't make it through the first
Westworld.
The first heist. When it goes wrong, it goes really wrong. She was great. She was really gritty, and she was trying to ground Harrelson, and you saw a real relationship there. I thought that's really what held this movie together was all the side characters that were interesting. Lando Calrissian was great, but
we've got to hit on Donald Glover because oh my god, man, that guy knocked it out of the park, and I expected him to, but at the same point, I was also very. Like, it was thoroughly enjoyable watching him play Lando Calrissian.
One of my favorite characters, though, is his robot, like his... L3, I don't know what you call that.
L3,
that robot. I don't know what it did. Yeah,
I know, right?
Co-pilot?
Because was he in love with her? Because, I mean, it certainly seemed like there was a romantic edge.
Right. She even, tries to talk with the one girl, Han's love interest. They tries to have girl talk with... Right. Han's love interest and be like, oh yeah, he's really Lando's real into me, but it's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
But you kind of think that's the droid, but no, the droid has a great personality. It's super funny. It's super
Communist,
rebellious.
Revolutionary.
Yeah, totally.
L3,
it's like robots. They're making you work for them. Do you not see you're brutalizing one another? Yeah.
Restraining bolts snap off.
Yeah, and he says he would have wiped her personality earlier, but she's supposed to have a bunch of knowledge about. The Starways,
which
and then
technically she still even exists.
Yeah,
at least her mind exists.
All right. So that's one of the things about this movie that I actually kind of was like, it's too much. Everything in this movie led into how awesome Han Solo is, and it's all like Han Solo moments. But yeah, this robot dies, and they're like, oh, it's having a terrible dying scene, and then they're like, oh, well, what if we just upload its consciousness into the Millennium Falcon? So now you know that, the Millennium Falcon has a consciousness loaded into it.
So yeah, I know. And I enjoyed that. I liked that aspect. And it gave, to me, there's... I don't know, there's just so much there. And...
Because this movie covers the Kessel Run.
Because it covers the entire Kessel Run. Essentially, this movie is about the Kessel Run and how he ended up making the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs,
which was the same 2 days he won the Millennium Falcon.
Which kills me that they also not only did they go with the retcon that of okay, he took a shortcut and that's why he says he made it in 12, right. But they
made it make sense.
They actually showed it, right? They showed the shortcut that he took and how insane it was. A gravity well, dude.
A gravity well and a giant squid monster.
That was insane.
That
awesome.
Squid monster was just chilling around that gravity well for who knows how long. Before it got sucked in.
I mean, who knows what is out there in nebulas in space, man?
Right. Well, and apparently they knew
because they Lovecraftian feel about those moments. That was kind of cool. I like that.
It was one of those moments I was like, it's a little bit too big and just like
it's too much.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, if you knew those things were around,
the Death Star was, the Star Destroyer being there in the cloud field was kind of already enough. You know?
Yeah.
You already had enough threat. You didn't need to bring in this.
I guess it was
H.P. Lovecraft monster.
Right, and he jettisons the life pod, which is why there's that
the section
missing of the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
So just everything they could, they explained the heck out of it.
Yeah.
So it left nothing to the imagination anymore. Like, I know exactly how Han Solo got his gun. Some guy broke down a rifle and put it together and handed it to him at a campfire. Like, that's that story now. Whatever cool thing I had going in my head, it now just got handed to him at a campfire, you know? Even Han Solo's name, we find out how he got named Han Solo. Yeah. Because, they totally play him off as, they're like, oh, he's an orphan working for an evil orphan overlord, and he gets away, and he goes
basically he's Oliver Twist.
Yeah, and then he goes to join the military. He's like, they're the ones that'll teach me how to fly. So he goes to join the military, and when he signs up, he only has the name Han.
Right.
He's like, I don't have any people.
He's like, who are you people? And well, Han Solo then, I guess. You know, dry British wit guy. You know,
because for some reason you join the military and you become British.
Right. Yeah.
In their universe.
Well, I guess just the majority of Imperials, I don't know, the British accent must be very big on Coruscant or something. The original Coruscant accent must be the British accent. That's the only explanation that I can think of for it.
It's part of the schooling of being an officer.
Yeah,
If you're a grunt, they don't care. But if you're
learn that accent,
if we're gonna see your face, you better speak with an accent.
You better learn that British accent, buddy.
Yeah. But I thought that was weird, though, because I'd never thought of this Han as a former soldier for the Empire.
Really?
Right?
Really?
That had never really been
that was even, as far as I know, that was actually part of canon, even in the Legends stuff, was that he was a former...
I mean, it makes sense.
Space Marine for the Imperial Navy.
It makes sense, given his knowledge and his skill sets.
Well, and the idea was, from what I can remember of Legends canon, was that he was actually working on the spice mines of Kessel, and that he was stationed there, and that's when he met Chewbacca, because all of the Wookiees had been moved, the entire species had been moved, and that was all that was working the spice mines of Kessel in, if I remember correctly, in what the Legends canon used to be. And so the fact that they've because that was one thing about it, man. They leave a lot of Legends stuff in his backstory. They do. They twist it a little bit. They
make it all happen in a 2-day period.
Right, exactly. And they make it all happen within what feels like certainly a few days. I think it's probably supposed to be a few months. I think it's supposed to be a couple of months, dude. I really do. I think
maybe between
it's
the
probably supposed to be about
first
a couple of
meeting
months.
and
But
maybe.
But it feels real quick.
Fast.
Yes, it feels really fast. But that's just the factor of it being a film, and you've got 2 hours. You
brought up the Wookiees working. One of the reasons this movie works, because the Wookiees work in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
The Wookiee stuff.
It's obvious that they're just large framed actors in costumes, which is good. I want you to keep it that way. I want it to always be that way.
Well, we see the meeting of Han and Chewie, which I thought was a little disappointing because they're both just captors of the Empire. Han's being accused of treason, and they're just keeping...
And they just keep this wild Wookiee.
Yeah, this wild Wookiee down there to rip people apart.
Yeah,
clearly doesn't like anyone they put in there.
Right.
But then that's unfortunate because it makes it just... They're friends by hapstance and coincidence, as opposed to actually liking each other.
Well, and that Han actually freed him from, and the rest of the Wookiees from enslavement. That was one of the reasons why he was on the.
Well, right. Later on in the movie,
which is what. Well, and that's the Legends take on it originally, and so it's their discovery and their meeting each other in old canon is a lot more grandiose.
Yeah, and now, they kind of do that where when they go to the Kessel to free it. The robot chick's starting a robot rebellion, and then they just
rebellion period.
Yeah, it grows into a rebellion period. But one of those starting things is Chewbacca sees some Wookiees getting roughed up as miners, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go take care of that." And Han's like, I get it. Gives him the weapons. I'll catch you later. Goes and frees some Wookiees, and a bunch of Wookiees start wailing on dudes. And it's sweet to watch a big enslaved Wookiee fight versus those guys. The action sequences were really good, and it had a bunch of cool stuff
Paul
in it.
Bettany's a great villain in it.
That
he was.
Guy,
he's riding a great wave right now of nerddom. His vision in the Marvel universe.
I think he's died in 2 movies I really liked this summer.
No doubt. But knocked it out of the park in both of them.
No, as the evil I guess, criminal mastermind, criminal lord
yeah,
that they're
yeah,
doing all these
right.
runs for. He's
an underboss.
He's an underboss.
You know,
yeah.
of another greater organization. Do we want to talk about that?
I mean,
let's end on that because we got to come to a close. But let's end on that. Yes, Darth Maul shows up in this movie, and it's Ray Park playing him, but it's the guy who voiced him for. I found this out today. It's the guy who has voiced him for both Rebels and Clone Wars, who actually did his voice. So they're trying to really tie it into all of the canon that they've been building with those series.
Okay, so then
with everything else.
All right, so Darth Maul's alive. He's working for him. He got cut in half, but in theory, he's got robot legs.
So this is about a decade after him having the spider legs and all that in Clone Wars. And it's right before a lot of the stuff that happens in Rebels.
Yeah. And you think it's before Rebels?
Yeah. I think it's right before Rebels. Or it's around the same time just puts as maybe like the first season.
In my head, that makes it weird because at some point, like Vader and him are both running around at the same time, and you're like, And it makes me question whether or not they wanted to.
Lightsaber, dude. That's the lightsaber that he has and that's an Inquisitor style one.
But I mean, it makes me wonder if we're going to see a Darth Maul movie. If they're looking to give us a more satisfying end to it, because he was always a favorite Sith Lord, and he gets such an unceremonious
end at the end. Okay, he has an end already that's already canon, and it's very satisfying. And if you haven't seen it, I challenge you to go and watch it. It's in Rebels. It's in Rebels, and it's so good, dude. It is so good. It'll make you cry. But yeah, I liked it. I had a great time. I know, like I said, I'm on board for these, so I'm not any kind of a judge.
I wasn't saddened by it. I didn't think it detracted. It solidified some things I could have left nebulous, but that's a minor complaint. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think your kids are going to enjoy it. I think that they're going to make a fortune on it, and we'll probably see that for one.
Yeah.
I bet you we'll see that guy as Han Solo again.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that was Solo. We thank you guys again for watching. And until next time, you guys keep watching movies.
See you around. Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been another episode of Badger Nerdworks Presents We Watched a Movie. I'm Brandon.
I'm Finn.
Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave some comments down below. We love to hear what you think. And go check out our other videos. They're cool. We talk about stuff. Have a good one.